Dr. N. Mahalakshmi, working as an assistant professor in Arulmigu Palaniyandur Arts College for Women Palani. This is about me. Okay, in this video, I got share some points regarding working capital management. Let me start the video with the meaning of working capital. Working capital means capital required for purchase of raw materials and for meeting day-to-day expenditure on salaries, wages, rent, advertising, etc. In simple words, working capital refers to that part of firm's capital which is required for financing short-term operations or current assets such as stock, debtors, cash, etc. Next, I am going to share about the types of working capital. There are two types of working capital: permanent or fixed working capital. The another thing is temporary or variable working capital. First, we can see about permanent or fixed working capital. Maintaining minimum level of current assets in a continuous manner is essential for running every business. Funds needed for maintaining such current asset is known as permanent or fixed working capital. The next type of capital is temporary or variable working capital. It is the amount of working capital which keeps on fluctuating from time to time according to meet seasonal demands and some special exigencies. This is about types of working capital. Next, I am going to share about importance of working capital. So there are so many important points regarding working capital. The first importance is it is very helpful for continuous production. The enterprise which are having adequate working capital can carry out its production process in a continuous manner without any disturbance. The second importance of working capital is solvency and goodwill. Adequate working capital enables prompt payment to creditors. This helps in creating and maintaining goodwill. The third importance is easy loans. A firm having adequate working capital enjoys high liquidity and good credit stands. Therefore, they can easily secure loans from banks and other financial institutions. The next importance of working capital is cash discounts. Concerns having sufficient working capital can avail cash discounts on the purchases, leading to reduction in costs. The another importance of working capital is regular payment of expenses. A company having ample working capital can make regular payment of salaries, wages, and other day-to-day commitments. The next importance of working capital is exploiting favorable market conditions. An enterprise having adequate working capital can buy its requirement of raw materials in a bulk manner when the market price is very lower. The next importance of working capital is ability to face crisis. Company having sufficient working capital can efficiently manage the crisis situation like depression, etc. So these are all the main importance of working capital in every organization. The next I am going to share is disadvantages of working capital. So a concern which is having inadequate working capital cannot pay its short-term liabilities in time. The second demerits or disadvantages: it cannot buy its requirements in bulk and not possible to take advantage of cash discounts. The third disadvantage is the concern will experience difficulties in meeting its day-to-day expenses. The fourth limitation is the enterprise which are not having adequate working capital may find difficult to exploit favorable market conditions. The last demerit is due to inadequacy of working capital, fixed assets are not efficiently used. So these are all the demerits of working capital or inadequate working capital. Next, I am going to share about disadvantages of excessive working capital. So excessive or abundant working capital means idle funds which are earn no profit for the business. Hence, the business cannot earn a proper rate of return on its investment. And the second drawback of excessive working capital is due to low rate of return on investment, the value of shares may also be fall. The shareholders will greatly affected. The third demerit of excessive working capital is it may lead to unnecessary purchasing and accumulation of stock will arise. The last demerit or drawback of excessive working capital is working capital in the concern indicates the excessive debtors and defective credit policy. One more point is that regarding drawback, working capital leads to overall inefficiency in the organization. So the drawbacks or demerits of excessive working capital. Now we are going to see about what are all the factors that determines working capital needs in the organization. The first factor, determining factor, is nature of business. That is, business transactions made on cash basis will require low working capital. On the other hand, concerns allowing credit to its creditors requires high working capital. The second factor is size of the business. Large business concern requires large amount of working capital. Smallest enterprise needs only limited working capital. The third factor determining the working capital is time consumed in manufacture. Concerns having long production process will require high working capital. If the production process is very fast, such type of concern will require low working capital. The next factor is seasonal fluctuations. Working capital requirement will be higher during the seasonal time for those concerns who are manufacturing seasonal products. The next factor is speed of turnover. A concern which affects sales quickly needs low working capital, where the companies which are having slow sales will require larger amount of working capital. The next determining factor is growth and expansion of business. A growing concern needs more working capital to finance its increasing activities and expansion. The next factor is price level changes. Generally, the rising price will require the firm to maintain larger amount of working capital in order to maintain the same level of activities at the time of moderate prices. The next factor is dividend policy. Firms which are declaring higher dividends to the shareholders, irrespective of its generation of profits, will require more working capital. Next factor is labor intensive industries. In such type of industries, larger working capital is required because of heavy wage bill and more time for production. The last factor, that is determining factor of working capital, is level of taxes. Capital in business concerns varies with the tax laws and advanced tax provisions laid down by the government, which determines working capital needs in every business concern. I hope this video will be somewhat helpful to all the students about working capital management. Thank you.